Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. This video is all about going through my first season as a professional triathlete and giving you a review of my season and giving you some ideas of what I did wrong and going forward what I'm doing differently to make sure that I don't make the mistakes again. The reason I'm doing this video is something that I've wanted to do and I plan to do as well, but I got a request. I had loads of requests. Don't feel like I've forgotten about them because I've jotted them down and I've got all the ideas, and I will be planning to do those in the future. So the first request video that I'm doing is from, now I'm really sorry if I pronounce this wrong because Archisman Saha. Yeah, tell me if I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. Anyway, they've said, "Hey Harry, nice video, thanks very much." That was this was a comment on the last video that I did. I think a review of your first season as a pro will be a great idea for a future video and would appreciate if you share with us some insights, like how much fortune did you make by racing your first season? Hee hee, smiley face. Well, I can answer that last bit quite quickly. How much money did I make during my first season? And the answer is zero. Actually, probably minus. I lost money. You know, in triathlon, one, it's such an expensive sport, and that is a video that I'm going to be doing in the future. I know someone's asked, how much does triathlon cost? A lot. I'm going to be doing a whole video on that. And yeah, that's one thing that I want to touch on before I really get going with the video, is that I didn't actually expect to make any money in my first season, so that's why I'm not really that bothered about it, actually. I knew that I wanted to be realistic and go, well, it's my first season. You know, for the first couple of seasons, I'm probably not going to get like incredible results, but that's all part of the process. And I think that if you're afraid to get bad results, you're never going to get good results. So you got to be, you know, willing to just put your neck on the line. And you know, I got my ass handed to me at pretty much every race this year, but that's good because it helps me grow, it helps me get better, and one day I will hopefully be, you know, one of those people on the top spot that's earning money from the sport. But right now I knew that it wouldn't happen, especially my first season. It's just all about understanding, growing and learning the dynamics of the race, is what Matt Bottrell said. I'm sure that every race in the future I will be learning something, but I'll become a more rounded athlete after, you know, sticking my neck on the line and just going in and giving it everything I've got, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. You prep as much as you can and you go into a race, you give it your all. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it does, fantastic. But I think early on in my career, I've got to be realistic and go, you know what, I'm probably not going to get results, but actually I'm just going to give it everything I've got and see what happens. So I'll start by saying what races I actually did this year. I think I did overall 6 70.3s. The first one was a DNF. Just, yeah, did not go well. That was complete drama. That was at St. Polten, and then I went over to, I think the second one was Finland, which, yeah, okay race. Then I had Staffordshire in the UK, Dunleary in Ireland, which I would say was probably my best result. I came 7th there against people like, you know, Ali Brownie was racing, Tim Don was racing, he didn't finish, but still, you know, to be racing against people like that is pretty incredible. Elliot Smales, Adam Bowden, Chris Minton, so I was really happy with that. Next race was Weymouth and then also Lanzarote, and so from those 6 races that I did, I got 4 top 10 finishes, so you know, it wasn't bad. So quite an important question that I think I should ask is, what's the difference between age group racing and professional racing? And obviously I've come through the age group stuff, and I've just finished my pro season, my first pro season, and I can tell you it's very different, as you can probably imagine. In the age group stuff, let's start with the swim. The swim in the age group stuff, most people sort of think, oh, just, you know, the swim's the swim, it's relatively short compared to all the other disciplines, get it out of the way, and then you're dandy, you get on the bike, you have a run, good race. In the pro stuff, the swim is so important, it really is. You need to be in those packs, whether you're in the front pack or the chase pack, you need to be in those packs because that sets you up for a good race on the bike and then furthermore on the run. and you can completely destroy yourself in the swim if you make a wrong decision, you don't follow feet properly. I've done it so many times, and you just end up absolutely mullering yourself. Whereas if you just stuck in there a little bit, got on feet, got in a pack, it just helps your race so much. On the bike, oh wow, massive difference. So age group stuff, as probably the same as most of the age groupers out there, I just sort of set myself a wattage and held a good position and just rode. So I think, let's say if you're holding 270 watts, and I would just be like, yeah, hold 270 watts and let's go and get 90k done. In pro stuff, you can't do that because, well, hopefully you're in a pack from the swim, you come out in a pack. Obviously you're keeping the legal distance, you don't want to be caught for drafting, but it's worthwhile being in that pack. So if the pack's surging, you're better off going with that surge. So if they're putting down 380 watts, 400 watts, you're better off putting down that surge, because it will ease up eventually, because being in that pack is so much more beneficial than getting spat out the back. You're completely on your own, you're not protected, and even though you are keeping that legal limit, that legal distance between bikers, you do get a benefit. If you're third, fourth person back, you do still get a benefit. So it's so much better holding that that group. So that's the main difference. Is in age group stuff, I used to just flatline it the whole way, and in pro stuff, it's almost like it is an individual bike race. You have these surges, you have these easy sections, it's way more tactical. Ultimately, you're racing against other people there, and you need to try and break them. So that's why in the swim, people are surging to try and break people. On the bike, surging to break people. On the run, exactly the same. Because if you can, if you can put someone in the red and put someone right out of their comfort zone, they're not used to, they're going to break, and you're hopefully gonna come out victorious. So I kind of wanted to talk about what mistakes I've made, and well, this video is not long enough to list all of them, but one of them in my first pro race, it was just the fact that I lost concentration. I was so excited, obviously nervous, but also like racing those top guys. Like, it was in St. Polten, like Michael Weiss was there, and other top pros, and I was swimming and I was like, oh my god, I'm with like these guys who I'm following on Instagram, and I just lost concentration, lost feet, bang, like a pack had already gone up in the water and I couldn't close the gap. So that was one thing, like losing concentration. You've got to stay concentrated, you've got to be confident that you're there for a reason. Even though it was my first pro race, like I qualified to be there, so I should have just just concentrated a bit, but yeah, I didn't anyway. Now another mistake that I made is this point is going to completely contradict what I said about the bike surges and the fact that it's good and you need to hold on to the pack. I went too hard on a lot of the races, and actually one of my best races was in Ireland, where I was kind of on my own, and just like it was such a hilly course which kind of suited me, and I was with a few others, but we just sort of rode our own races. Yes, it is good to be in the bike packs, you do get a benefit, you really do, but at what cost? And you need to make a call. When the surge goes, are you gonna stick with it and are you gonna hurt yourself and hope that the pace eases up, or are you gonna let them go and not hurt yourself too much but stick at your own pace and know that you won't blow, but hope that they blow up in the future, later on in the race? It's just making those decisions. That's what's really important, making those split second decisions, and that's something that I definitely need to work on. I get told a lot when I'm training with the British Triathlon squad. Reece Davey, the head coach, he just talks about making decisions. Oh, am I going to go with that surge? Am I not? Am I going to attack here? Am I not? Blah 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 blah. It all affects your race, and you've got to be confident with your decision. So when you make that decision, you've got to commit 100%. So I've talked about a few mistakes. I did make a lot, like things like stupid things like changing equipment last minute and stuff like that. It's just not clever. But anyway, if I talk through all the stupid mistakes that I made, we would be here all day and it would get dark. Next bit of the video, I wanted to talk about what I'm changing for my 2020 season. See, I've actually made a list because I know that I would forget a few things, and I want to make sure that I tell you guys everything that I'm doing, because that's kind of the point of this channel, is that I want to be completely transparent and I want to show you guys how I've done everything, what I do, and if you've got any questions, I want to answer them 100%. Very unlike politics at the minute. I don't want to talk about Brexit in my YouTube videos, but I want to be the complete opposite of all the politicians out there, and I want to tell you guys exactly what's going on and be completely transparent, like I've said. So number one is nutrition. I'm taking my nutrition far more seriously now, and kind of making sure that, yes, I'm working hard in training, but I'm fueling myself optimally as well, so that I can work harder in training. The next thing is chiropractor treatment. Started chiropractor treatment a couple of weeks ago, a month or so ago actually, and because I was having back issues like I've been talking about on the bike, which has really been affecting me this season with putting power out and getting comfortable in my position. So I saw a local chiropractor, Melksham Family Chiropractors, because I live near Melksham, and they are actually going to be sponsoring me for the next season, which is fantastic. I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to be doing some publicity and some promotion of their brand for them, but that's really helpful. So I'm going to have regular chiropractor treatment, because a lot of people, they have an issue, they get it sorted, but then the issue comes back because they don't maintain that treatment. So my back issue hasn't gone yet, but it's easing up. So once it's all gone, I'm just going to go into a maintenance phase and visit them, you know, every other week or whatever it is, or every month, and just keep that maintenance going. So that's another thing that I'm doing. I'm really thankful for Melksham Family Chiropractors for supporting me. The next thing is strength and conditioning, and it's something that I know a lot of athletes neglect, because they're like, well, I'm already swimming, I'm already biking, I'm already running, I don't want to go to the gym. Also, triathletes, we're not big people, so we look like idiots in the gym. But it's so important, and I've noticed that I've got a weakness in my left side, which is where my back pain was, which is why I'm doing the strength and conditioning stuff, because yes, the chiropractor treatment's going to help, but also making me a stronger, more robust athlete is really going to help, and making sure that my glutes are firing properly, my hamstrings are firing properly, I've got a strong core, I've got a strong back. That's going to help so much. So I'm being really strict with this, I'm doing 2 gym sessions a week. If any of you lot out there are not doing strength and conditioning, I really do advise it. It's something that I know a lot of people neglect, and as I've mentioned, I neglected it as well. But as a pro, going into my second pro season, is something that I need to stop neglecting, and I need to do everything right. And one thing that I said to myself in the off season was, I'm going to leave no stone unturned for next season, just to see how good I can be, you know. Otherwise I'm just going to have these question marks going on in my head. Oh, what if? Well, I don't want that, so why don't I just give it everything I've got, do everything I need to do, see what happens. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, but at least I'm confident that I've done everything I can do. The next thing is saddle, and that relates to my back as well. I changed my saddle. I did have the Cobb Joff 55, and I didn't find it that comfortable. It was cutting off blood circulation, so I changed to an ISM PN 3.0, and I tested it at Bike Science in Bristol, and they were really helpful with it. And that seems to be more comfortable, you know, it's a lot more blood flow, I'm not getting numbness, which is fantastic, and it's definitely eased the back pain. Like I've said, the back pain's not gone, but it's getting better, which is good. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, hopefully it gets there. And one of the last things, or the last thing, is I haven't got them yet, but I'm getting shorter cranks. I've got 172.5, which is fairly standard for someone of my height, I guess. But I'm reducing to 165, which a lot of you will be going, wow, that's a massive difference. Yes, it is, but again, it's relating to my back issue, making sure that I open my hips up a little bit. So shorter cranks basically is going to mean that I'm not so cramped on the bike, and hopefully just reduces the stress on my back. So all those things together, I mean, I've changed quite a lot. This is the perfect time to be changing things. I'm not saying change as much as what I'm doing, or you know, if things are working for you, don't change them at all. but things weren't working for me. I knew I needed to change things. I wanted to leave no stone unturned. These are the things that I'm changing. And fingers crossed for next season. Next season it works. So that is the end of the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found it useful. If you have any comments, please comment that below. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done already. But I have got one more thing to mention before I go. Some of you will know that I work for T3, which is a coaching company. I mentioned it in the last video. I work with Mark Threlfall, who is the GTM presenter. And we are putting on a camp, a training camp, going to Mallorca next year. And I just wanted to advertise it out there. But yeah, if you want any more details or you're really interested in the camp, please comment below, or like I said, give me a message and we'll give you all the details you need. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.